Hey guys, it's Han here from the Golden System. Hey, it's Sophia here. Hey, it's Vortex here. And I'd just like to say before we start that I got brought this shirt yesterday and it's my first time wearing it today and I absolutely love the shirt. Yes, it's great. It suits me so well. What's up? It's your boy Chase Brody here to answer some questions for you today. And today we're going to be doing this thing called Multiplicity Month. We didn't know this existed, but we saw it on Facebook and we thought, hey, why not do it? You know, bit of fun. So we're going to get a few different alters to answer the questions that are a part of it. Just so you can get to know us a bit better, you can see how we answer different questions. And yeah, not all of them will have all of us answering because some of them only need one answer. But yeah, we'll answer whichever ones could have more than one answer. So, first question, how many alters are there? At the time of recording, which is, what's the date? The 11th of January 2020, there are 25 of us. Who was the first alter? So our first alter was X, but X integrated. So technically, I suppose you'd say our first alter was Sophia now, but it was X when she existed. Number 3, how long have you known? Again, because I'm an integrated alter, it's all good. So Hannah, old Hannah, she knew from the age of 5 that she wasn't alone in the body. But she thought we were imaginary friends. And then it wasn't till about 3 years ago, 3 years ago, when she started thinking, hey, you know, this isn't right, something's wrong, I'm going to look into it. And then she found DID. Well, she went through a few other things first, and eventually came along DID. And then found OSDD through DID, and then we were like, oh yeah, makes sense now. So that was about 2.5 years ago, I think. Yeah. I have known about the system since the body was 4 years old. Well, I didn't know it was called OSDD, but I also knew that we weren't imaginary friends. I was also aware of some of the alters that other people weren't at the time, such as Ben and Vamara. I found those before either Hannah or X did. So I've known for quite a long time, but we all discovered that it was OSDD, that was the name of it, at the same time, which was about 2 years ago, 3 years ago, something like that. So yeah, I am going to talk from both people's perspective. So Vector joined the system in year 6, so 6 years ago, and he knew straight away what it was, what was happening, why he was there. But he was an alter in the forest, and so he couldn't communicate this with anyone, and he didn't come out of the forest until it had already been worked out, so that was helpful. With Shadow, he knew straight away, and he knew his role straight away, but he only existed about a month ago. It literally existed for about a week and then was like, nope. Boom, integration. So yeah, when I came into existence, I knew straight away what was happening, what's going on, and yeah, I still don't know my role, but that's not what this question is. So, I haven't been in the system for that long. How long have I been in the system for? I've been in the system about 2 years, but I was previously an NPC. So when I first got here, I didn't really know what was happening. When I first fronted, I didn't really know what was happening. I was like, what, why am I not in my own body? Where's everyone gone? I'm so confused. And then Auntie explained to me a few months ago. Yeah, back in October, I think it might have been. Auntie explained to me what was happening, and I was just like, oh, makes sense now. So yeah, I think that was back in October that got explained to me. Describe your inner world. Okay, so this is going to be a long explanation. So our inner world, to the far left, there's the forest, and all down there is forest. You can't get past. You can live. We have altars that live in the forest, but only certain altars can go in there. Like, I couldn't go too far in the forest, but someone like Scarlet or Vortex, they can go quite far into the forest. And we do have altars that live there, but we don't know all of them. According to Slenderman, there's about 15 that live in there, and we're only aware of 3 of them. Yeah, 3. So, yeah. And then at the front here is what we call the plains, and that goes all the way across. On this side, closest to the forest is Patton's house. Next to that is Virgil's house. Next to that is the apartment that we all live in, which is 3 stories high, and then it goes underground as well. Slightly behind that and to the right is the Elemental's apartment. And next to that is a river, then there's a stone bridge. Over the stone bridge is the ego side of the island. I'm sure one of our egos will explain that side, because I don't know that side very well. So one of the egos will explain that side. Behind our side of the island is the Arctic. So if you walk about 20 minutes from behind the apartment, you get Elsa's castle. Then next to the Arctic, which makes no geological sense, is the desert. Don't really know why that's there yet. We've found no altars there. We've got 2 altars that go there quite a lot, which are Robin and Fire. But we found no altars there. Not really sure why it exists, but it does. And then to the far right, there's mountains, and again, they pretty much cover the whole of the right. We do have a theory saying that there might be a way to get around them or to get over them, and there's something on the other side, but no one has looked yet. I have been asked to describe the ego side of the inner world, so I'm going to do that. When you cross the stone bridge, down towards the bottom is my house, so my house is there. Up to the top there's JJ's cinema. There used to be Auntie's and Google's computer there, but that's moved now. There used to be a fountain, and I think the computer's moved to where the fountain used to be. Then next to JJ's cinema is Dr. Schniefelstein's and Dr. Eplier's hospital. Next to that is Wilfred Warstash's house. Then you have the mountains down there. In the mountain towards the bottom, there's a little cave. That's where Jack Boyman lives. And then next to that, going back this way, is Dark Player's house. And then full circle, there's my house again there. And like I say, in the middle is Google Player's computer. Auntie doesn't live there anymore because he lives in the apartment now, but Google does still live there, so yeah. Oh, and Marvin's shop. Yeah, I forgot. Marvin's shop so the hospital's there, and then Warstash's house is there, then what Marvin's magic shop is there. So it's kind of in the middle of both and slightly down. Yeah, I don't know if I've explained that very well, but hopefully you get what I mean. Main means of communication. So our biggest way of communication is buddies. We have what is known as buddies. So this is when you know who communicates with someone the best. This was shown in our Inktober, if you've watched that video. But say if I wanted to get a message to Marvin, I'd have to think, well, who's Marvin good with? Chase. I don't have good communication with Chase. So who is Chase good with? Pattern. I do have good communication with Pattern, but for the sake that I didn't, I'd have to think, well, who does he have good communication with? Virgil. Okay. Who has the best communication with Virgil? Sophia. Ah, I have really good communication with Sophia, so I can tell her to tell Virgil, to tell Pattern, to tell Chase, to tell Marvin. It sounds really confusing, and honestly it can get confusing, it can get complicated. But if you can make it work, it's a really efficient way to get a message to someone quickly. Again, I do actually have good communication with Pattern, so I could skip out most of those steps. But for the sake that I didn't, that's the process you'd have to go through. Sometimes it's just one person, so if I wanted to get something to Elsa, Sophia has the best communication with Elsa, and again, I've got really good communication with Sophia, so I would tell her to tell Elsa, and it would be done like that, rather than trying to struggle to reach her to try and talk to Elsa. Number 6, show us something an alter made. Ooh, okay. You can check out my channel. That's got stuff that I make on it. I don't want to show something someone else has made in case they want to show you themselves. You know what? I'll put a picture on of something our little made, or I'll insert it into here. Yeah. I don't really make a lot. I make a lot of hammer beads, and I will link my I'll link my channel in the description, and you can see what I've made there. I don't really like showing people what I make, but I will show you this. This is a drawing I did of Bendy from Bendy and the Ink Machine. This is probably the favourite thing I've ever drawn. Then I also did Angel, again from Bendy and the Ink Machine. This one's not as good. It's probably my least favourite thing I've ever drawn. But yeah. I also have drawn the puppet before from Five Nights at Freddy's, specifically Five Nights at Freddy's 2, but that's too big for me to show, but I do like it. Okay, so, since I haven't existed for long, I haven't made anything yet, so I decided to make something just, and this is the result. That's meant to be a bat. I apparently can't draw. I'm sorry. I haven't made anything because I'm not the most creative. I don't know if you could class the videos I'm in as making something, but you probably class that as being made by Jacksepticeye. Yeah, so I haven't made anything. Sorry. 7. What types of alters do you have? Oof. We have a lot of different types of alters. summed up, we have mostly fictives and mostly non-human. The humans, most of the humans are fictives, apart from me and Robin. I think me, Robin, and our little are the only people who don't fall under fictive or non-human. So yeah, quite a range. What type of alters do we have? Well, me myself, I am what's known as Plutonian. This is because my home planet was Pluto, but my race no longer exists. Me and Ben are the last two surviving members from my background anyway. We have a few like ghosts and stuff like that. Then we have a lot of humans, but most of the humans are fictives. So I am a vampire, which I suppose you could say is the kind of alter I am. I am the only vampire in the system. I've only ever met one other vampire alter, so I like to think I'm quite unique. Also for different types, which I noticed nobody else said, we've got a lot of introverts and we've got a lot of extroverts in the system, and then a few ambiverts. So me myself, I am a ambivert. I think Sophia is an introvert, Han's an ambivert, and Chase is an extrovert. So yeah, there you go. Something else you get to know. So I am human. I am American, even though I don't sound it. I'm a fictive. So I'm a fictive of Chase Brody from Jacksepticeye's channel. I am one of his egos. I am one of 8 fictives in the system. Well, 8 active fictive. There are more egos, but they're known as NPCs and they do not front. So I am one of 8 fictives who does front. But yeah. Oh no, sorry. How old are all the alters? Well, I'm an age slider. I go between 7 and 19. I'm sure whoever else does this video will tell you their ages, but there is a huge age range. It goes from as old as the Earth to itself to our little, who is 6. Sorry, who is 6. So I am 1,100 years old in human time. In my own time, I'm around 10,000 years old. Time used to move differently for me. But in the human aging system, I am 1,100, which for the system is actually quite young. So my age changed quite dramatically recently. So Vector was 66 million years old, so quite an old person. And then Shadow was 10,000-ish years old. Whereas I am 10 million years old, so kind of in the middle. But I am not the oldest in the system. There are people who are way older than I am, so yeah. So I am 23. It's quite young for in the system, but I am a parental alter, so I do look after everyone, especially our little ones and our teens. That's it. Show us your face claims. Cool. So this is what I look like in the inner world. And I'm sure everyone else will tell you what they look like as well. This is my face claim, and this is what I look like in the inner world. This is what I look like in the inner world. Boom. So this is my face claim right here. Where am I? Show us your voice claim. We don't really have voice claims. The only people who really have voice claims are fictives, and you can go and look at them yourself on YouTube, whatever. The only person who really has a voice claim is Sophia, I think. Yeah. Okay. My voice claim isn't really a voice claim. I don't know how many of you know the game Doki Doki Literature Club, but there is a character in it called Yuri, and I kind of sound like how you'd imagine her to speak. If you watch Jacksepticeye's playthrough of it, it's kind of like that. I don't have a voice claim, so I'm just going to describe how I talk. Slightly deeper than this. It's quite a smooth way of talking. Don't really know how else to describe it. Yeah, deep and smooth. About it. So, as a fictive, I do actually have a voice claim, so I will play that now. Yeah, that's me. So nothing like that in the body. But yeah, that's me. I just landed a trick shot in that moment. Any tips on communication? 11. From a systems perspective, again, we use buddies, but that doesn't always work. If that doesn't work, whiteboards are good. So we have a whiteboard. We recently changed the layout of it. It's got who's fronting, their symbol, who's co-fronting or co-con, how they are, and then to the side there's a notes section, which is where we can leave dates things are due, or birthdays, or C-days, or days we're going out, or we have a counselling session on there. So yeah, that can be good. Also, using social media can be quite good as well. So you can create a group chat of just you. Sounds weird, but we've got this on Messenger and we've got this on WhatsApp. And when we were first discovering we were a system, when we were first trying to learn how to cope with each other, this is how we talked a lot. So at the time we had different styles of typing. So I would type normally, and then Sophia would type in bold, and Ben would type with the line through it, and so on and so on. And we would communicate like that. So that is a good way if you're just starting out. Also, keeping diaries, again, whiteboards, keeping sticky notes on you or pieces of paper to write down things. We've also got a magnetic notepad which tells us what we need to do and what needs to be done. So yeah, a lot of different things like that. Then from a singlet perspective, I'd say if you're meeting a new alter, talk to them as if you were meeting a new person. So find out a bit about them, find out what they like, what they dislike, what they're comfortable with, what they're not comfortable with. Just treat them like you're meeting a new person. Alters are just like anyone you would meet in the external world. Yes, some of them aren't human, but that's not something you should kind of dwell on, because the way they act and the way they speak and everything is still human. So you treat them like that. Also another thing, never, it's hard, never ask for an alter to be out at that time. Say if I was out and one of my friends was like, oh, can you get Ben out? I'd be like, no, no, not right now. Unless I could, and then in that case I probably would. But it's a bit rude, and also it's a bit offensive to that person if you're just like, oh yeah, don't want you here, want to talk to this person instead. What I would say is either you say to have whoever is out, can you pass a message on to this person for me, please? Or you say, when this person is out later, can you get them to message me? I need to ask them something. So those are the two best ways to communicate with internal alters if you're an external person. Okay, so number 12 is tips to allies. Allies are hopefully all the people who will be watching this, so I hope you pay attention. Kind of learn about the disorder as best you can. Learn from the system you're talking to, since each system is different. Also learn about the disorder in general, and you can do that by looking it up online, or the best way, in my opinion, is going on YouTube and looking up different channels. So some good channels are Dissociated, Team Pinata, Multiplicity and Me, the Entropy System. If you want OSDD, there's the Amplexus system, the Ring system. Yeah, there's a lot. So if you need to know anything, just look it up and it'll be on YouTube. And there's a lot of different systems that give a lot of really good advice. And I think that'd just be the best way to learn. It makes our life easier, because when we just throw terminology at you, you'll understand what we're talking about. So yeah. My biggest tip to allies is to just be accepting as possible, especially to people who are newer to it. Just because it's not exactly normal, we don't have human alters. Well, we do have human alters, but a lot of our alters, and the ones you'll see the most, aren't human. So just to be as accepting as possible. Also to respect people's boundaries. I mean, you should do this to people anyway, but just to respect people's boundaries and don't take advantage of alters. For example, if there is an alter that's a bit naive and a bit more gullible than others, not to take advantage of that. I mean, unless you're doing it in a humorous way and they're okay with that, then sure, but just don't take advantage of them. We've had people do this to us before, and it's not fun. It tends to set us into chaos. It means we have to create more rules and make things more strict, and it just makes us more scared. So be accepting and respect boundaries. Don't take advantage of alters. Yeah, that's my biggest advice and my biggest tips for everyone. My biggest tip to allies is to not tell an alter how to do their job. We've had this happen to a few alters, and it's not good. Vector had it happen to him right before he integrated. He was already struggling with his role anyway, thinking that he was useless. It kind of pushed him over the edge. So yeah, it just makes us feel awful. It makes us feel like we're not needed, that we're not wanted, that we're doing more damage than good, and that's not what many people want. Even with persecutors, you can't say to them, no, you're doing this wrong, because most persecutors have a reason for doing what they do. It's just not the healthiest way usually, so that's why you have to work with them. But you still can't say to them, no, don't do that. So, yeah, that'd be my biggest tip. If an alter is doing something that you don't like, then talk to them about it. Instead of just saying, don't do it, just say, hey, could you do this in a better way? I had an idea, you could do it like this, or, just be like, well, the way you're doing it's fine, it's just maybe this way would be better. I don't know, it's a very awkward ground to tread on. But yeah, just as long as you don't directly say, don't do this, then you should be fine. My biggest tip to allies is to check what alter gives permission for what. So, for us, for example, when it comes to telling people about the system, a person we have to get permission of is Sophia, but we also need at least Pattern and Robin to agree as well, as they are co-host and secondary host, and Sophia is primary protector. She has also been around the longest. And then with our little, that's going to be me and Sarah, since we look after her the most, and we're practically her mum and dad at this point. So if you want to talk to our little, or even know our little's name, permission will have to be given by us and not by the host. Because that's a misinterpretation people often make, that everything is decided by the host. That's not how it works. Especially in our system, we're very much a democracy, but those people are the ones who have to give a say for those certain things. So it's good to learn who kind of does what for that sort of thing. There is a trigger warning for this question. So this question is, do you want to integrate? I'm gonna be as honest as possible. I would never want to fully integrate, like to have everyone just be one person. I remember in year 6, I think it was, I tried to block everyone out, and it was just so weird for me. I couldn't live with no one talking to me in my head. So yeah, I'd never want to do that, but me personally, yeah, kind of, at the moment. Stuff has been quite rough recently, and I've been struggling to cope, so honestly, yeah. I don't think I will, but who knows? No, I do not want to integrate. The idea of it, I hate the idea of it. I've never wanted to integrate, and I kind of never want to. I think I'm pretty strong on my own. I don't really need anyone else. Plus, I think the system needs me the way I am, especially because X is gone now, so I've had to kind of fill in her spot. So no, the idea of integration does not appeal to me at all, and honestly I don't really like it when other people in the system integrate as well. It really hurts me, it really affects me, especially because the 4 people that have, I protected Han her whole life. I'd known X for years, for such a long time, and we were good friends, and then they integrated, and that took so long to adjust to. And then Vector and Shadow integrated. I didn't really know Shadow, but me and Vector were really good friends. really good friends. And then he left too, so I wouldn't want to put anyone through that pain, especially because I have a boyfriend. I wouldn't want to put anyone through that anxiety or through that grief or depression, so I'd just rather not. I have only just recently integrated. I can't remember how long ago it was, about 2, maybe 3 weeks ago. I think it was 2 weeks ago. So I currently have no interest in integrating, although I do think it would be beneficial if me and Han integrated. I think that would help her a lot. But no, I have no interest in integrating. I just think that's what would help. Okay, so this is a bit of a deep question. I don't want to integrate currently. I have wanted to in the past, because I've had a lot of struggles, so I have wanted to in the past, but I don't at the moment, because I'm very happy with who I am at the moment. I'm in a okay headspace at the moment. So no, but I have wanted to before, and I probably will want to again. Doesn't mean I will, but who knows? You never know when you're a sister. Anything could happen. So 14 is, what is your system name? We have a golden system. Most of us will actually respond to golden if you call us that. So if you saw us out on the street and was like, oh, who's that? If you called us golden, we would reply. But most of us will also all respond to Hannah or Han, which is my name. So yeah, they will respond to the body's name as well. But yes, we have a golden system. And then 15 is, do you have any subsystems? No, we do not. There is a theory at the moment that one of our alters might have a subsystem, but it's not looking like it. So no, we don't, thankfully.